welcome to the C&C Connection, an all-in-one podcast that touches upon a variety of topics ranging from sports to TV shows. Here are your hosts, the 9 experts on everything, Colin and Corey. Hey guys, welcome to the C&C Connection. It's Colin Hansel. Colin Hensel is my co-host, and
you're Corey Moquin.
I'm Corey Moquin, the Corey Moquin. Today we're talking MLB. This is kind of like a story that's kind of like in the back of everyone's mind in the sporting world, I guess.
Well, now that we fixed the BCS, sort of, we can go on to other things.
Yeah,
to complain about.
Yes, there's got to be something out there that we have to complain about, and the MLB is, I think, becoming the new hot topic in the sporting world.
I think NCAA basketball could use with a few changes, mostly with just how long players are mostly with the NBA draft.
NBA, yeah.
But MLB is a close second. I would agree.
I would agree. Yes.
Everyone hates Bud Selig.
Basically, I have like 5 topics I want to talk about tonight. First one, the playoffs.
Okay, so
the playoffs are a mess.
Do you like the way they are changed? Did you like the change?
It's a start.
Huh.
It's a start in the right direction, but I think they should have just skipped this step, I guess, because this is the one-game play-in is just stupid. You're gonna have you could possibly have 2 one-game play-ins, basically, right? You have to tie.
Right. Yeah. I guess. Yeah. I don't know how it would work if
you played
obviously if the two teams, if the second and third place team, the first place wildcard team,
yep,
and the second place wildcard team are tied.
Yeah.
Whatever. They're just gonna play one game anyways.
Right.
But if the third and fourth place teams are tied, they're playing a game to get basically into the playoffs.
So you play 162 games, then you have to go do Mortal Kombat, basically, to get in. That's exactly like what
one
it's like.
round of Mortal Kombat, not even 2.
Just a bunch of round robins. But yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. Why do this? Why not a 3? Why not a 5? Okay.
Things I like about it is it makes you strive to win the division. No one's gliding in. Like, you don't see the times when the Red Sox, Yankees are the 2 best teams in the AL, and they stop trying because one of them's going to get the wild card, one of them's going to win the division.
And home field doesn't really
it
matter.
focuses on the division. So you want to win your division. You do not want to be in that one-game playoff.
No.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
But the fact that this is what I don't like about it, is the fact that the second place team in the AL or NL could be facing a one-game playoff because divisions are out of whack.
Right.
Well, not out of whack, but like different strength of divisions.
Definitely.
So that's just so stupid to me that you have the second best record in the AL and you're facing a one-game playoff. But that's just
to a team that could possibly have like 20 games less 20 wins less than you.
Right, and say you have 5 great pitchers and they have 1 amazing pitcher, and you're done. You're basically done.
Yep.
But so that's what I don't like about it. I like the strength of divisions because baseball originally started out where there was no playoffs at all, where there was an AL and an NL.
Yep.
If you win the AL, you are in the World Series. If you win the NL, you're in the World Series. And granted, it takes a lot away, but there's something to a regular season.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath out for that one.
No, there's reasons why they changed it the way it is now.
No, yeah, I agree that it could add a whole other dimension. But what I want to see, and I know you do not want to see,
right,
is I want the NBA playoffs in the MLB.
So what do you?
And here's my argument for it. I think for one, I want all 7-game series. Because you're playing this many games.
I agree with that.
7-game series.
5-game
no
series.
Fucking around with this 5-game series
5-game
bullshit.
series is stupid.
It's dumb.
Division round should be 7 games. You play 162 games. I don't care if you shorten it to 150 games. Play 7-game series.
7-game series, no matter what. I think it'll stimulate the MLB because there's definitely some stagnant teams out there that are always like in this cycle of doing bad. You know, you got the Royals. What you want? So your change is 8 teams for each. Yes.
So 16 out of the 30 teams in MLB are making the playoffs.
Yes.
How many teams are in NBA?
30.
30 same. So you want all those teams to make the playoffs, but so that basically just means it basically just turns into a playoff sport.
Yeah. But at the same time,
that's the thing about NBA, but that's how it's always been, I guess. But I get where you're coming from, and I do like the playoffs in basketball, but I also hate the regular season.
Yeah, see, that's where we disagree. I like the regular season. I love the playoffs.
Yeah.
I just think it would be a lot more exciting. It would like make more people interested in the sport because you can actually watch your team exceed instead of just watching a game in May and just like, wow, okay, great. But
Right. I think people don't realize how important each game is for the team during the regular season.
It is important.
I think the schedule should be shortened. But,
definitely. Oh yeah, that's my next thing.
But every game is important, and it's not like basketball where you're going to see like the Celtics playing a totally different roster and rotation during the playoffs than they are during the regular season.
Well, at the same time, you're playing different rosters in the regular season because
yeah, that's the thing. Like you totally build your baseball team differently.
You almost never see the same roster out.
Well, that's not. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
The roster you start with is not the roster you see at the end.
Mm-hmm. And that's just like with building your team throughout the season. You try to fix certain like players that aren't performing or whatever. But you would see teams build their teams totally differently if they had all these 8 teams. They would just strive for 3 starting pitchers because that's all you would use in the playoffs. Because the 7-game series.
If you had 7 games, if you had that many playoff
that's what they
games
do now.
No, but here's what I'm saying. If you have more playoff games, because you're going to have 2 more rounds essentially, you can't have 3 a pitcher rotation going through the entire playoffs. That would destroy their arms.
Well, if you do it right, it would just be like they were getting the same rest as they were during the regular season. So
you mean not have a game every night then?
Well, they don't have a game every night in the playoffs. There's between travel days there's a day off.
Okay, that's right.
So it would be 2-3-2. That's usually how they do it.
Right.
So 2 games.
So that's another thing. I'd like to see a 2-2-1-1-1.
I wouldn't mind that either, but that's just something.
It's just a little thing.
Yeah, that's a little thing. But so you have your ace start. He gets 1 day off, 2 days off. Your third pitcher goes 3 days off. So it would be like pitching on 3 days rest.
Right.
If he was to pitch again. So I guess you're right. You probably need 4.
4 at least.
Usually you see the 4th starter pitch 1 game in a series.
I'm saying like ALCS and World Series, you can do the 3-man rotation, but at first you don't want to wear out your pitchers,
right?
Especially if you're going a 1 seed against an 8 seed,
Right, and yeah, that's not too bad. But you would still see the 3 pitchers
towards the end
going.
I think. Yeah.
Well, no, like I think that would be even stronger. Like people would just strive for 3 great pitchers and just build your team around that because they could carry you through series.
Right. Well, this would change everything in baseball pretty much. It would change a lot. It would change the game.
Yep.
I don't know. I think it would be for the better.
It's never gonna happen.
You don't think so?
Well, because baseball's been built around
this old time
winning your division and winning the regular season. Right. So that rewards people who are the 8th seed. I mean, granted, you're playing number 1 seed, but there's been 8 seeds to make it far in other sports, especially hockey.
Well, yeah, hockey doesn't matter at all. It's all about the goalie, pretty much.
So you have to think about like their history is win the regular season and you're in the World Series. Now it's a little bit different. There's a wild card. It makes it a little better, and I like the wild card. I don't think there shouldn't be a wild card, but I don't know how to fix it. So there's more teams in the playoffs, or it makes the playoffs more exciting, but without ruining the regular season.
It's a slippery slope, and you got to make it the narrow line somewhere. I think, obviously, if we're extending the playoffs this much, in my way, you're going to have to shorten the season, which is something I think they should just do already.
Yeah.
162 games. It's too much.
It's a long season. It's not too bad, but I don't like it watching games when it's cold out.
No, I mean,
that's the thing I dislike.
The past couple seasons have been, like, really weather problems. There's been some weather problems in the World Series, especially with the Philly-Tampa series.
Yeah, it depends on where the series is, but I hate watching baseball when it's cold out and just seeing everyone all bundled up, and it's not fun for them either. So
you can't imagine. Like, I think it should just middle of October, like October 14th. That should be the final game.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
and they've been going into November.
Almost.
Yeah.
I think November 2nd. I think was the latest one. I don't quote me on that. That's probably not even true. But
I think they have been going late though.
Yeah. I mean, it's just. I feel like the playoffs are an afterthought with them almost.
Yeah,
the 5 games ALDS just infuriates me.
It's the worst. 5-game series.
It's a joke.
Play 7 games. I don't mind one wild card because you could have this. I think personally, just get rid of divisions altogether, you just have the top 4 teams in each league.
Yeah, I think they do it for travel too, though.
Yeah,
it's definitely part of it. I don't know how you would fix it. But I think going into this, we're going on a whole new thing right now, and maybe we'll come back to this. But with your one division thing, this would probably help fix the schedule problems I have with the MLB. Because I love the way the NBA does it. You play every team at least twice, or you play out of conference teams twice, and then you play your division most, obviously. And then in the middle, you just have the rest of the conference that you're in. And I think that's the perfect way to do it because there's so much more diversity. You get to see every team once, or every team twice, and you get to see the league. And you really feel like you know what's going on in the league. Like in the MLB, I can't really keep up with what's going on in the NL because you barely see them.
I agree with that, but one thing I would change is I would make it either all DH or all no DH.
Exactly. What would you have?
What would you swing? I've swung both ways. Try to make the game shorter. I want pitcher to hit, but I want the DH. I want to just see more hitting. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna
you get to see players last longer.
Yeah,
and it's more exciting. In general, it probably won't be that much longer, but I think they should just switch everyone to have a DH.
I agree. In this day and age,
it saves the pitchers from getting injured.
Yeah.
And granted, it's small ball and double subs or a double substitution are important parts of the game, but just put a DH out there and just do that schedule. I wouldn't mind that at all.
Yeah. I mean, we're a society nowadays. We need action.
Yeah.
And I don't like to...
It needs to compete with football, basketball.
Yeah, exactly. Baseball is falling by the wayside, I feel like.
Yeah, it's turning into like horse racing and boxing.
Yeah,
it's not going to be that bad.
No, not that bad, but it's definitely a point.
And we're in an area where baseball is really popular.
Yeah, we're
especially
in Massachusetts. Yeah,
yeah.
We got the Boston-New York rivalry. You're a Yankees fan. I'm a Red Sox fan, and I feel like I don't even. It just seems like with the way the MLB is right now, I'm losing interest. And I'm gonna be honest. It's in part because the Sox have just been fucking like a mess. They've been a mess. But at the same time, I'm pissed off at the way the MLB is run.
Well, you can't. It's almost impossible to watch every game unless you're working as a journalist or something, which is the only people.
Or a commentator.
Yeah, and
at the same. Yeah, go on.
But they're the only people who are like their job.
It's their job.
It's their job.
It's mentally grinding at times because these games. I feel like, and that's another point I wanted to talk about, is that we got to find a way to speed it up.
Yeah, this should be just rules. Just get in the box. Just go. Just pitch.
We don't need fucking, like, I remember Nomar fucking changing his glove, he had his little routine for 20 fucking seconds.
The amazing thing is when you DVR it and you, like, fast forward in between pitches and it's just so much waiting around. There's like 30 seconds in between a foul ball. It's like, come on. It's fouled into the stands. You don't have to go get it.
I know. Like I remember we were playing baseball for last year, and like I'm going up to bat, and I was like, "Holy shit!" That was like a 45-second at bat. Granted, I struck out because I'm not good, but at the same time, like there's no fucking around. Like I didn't have time to like adjust myself at all. Like you watch the players.
I mean, there's ways to do it. You're not as experienced as some others, but there's ways like you can give yourself time and stuff, but. Sometimes the MLB players, they take it out of proportion.
Way too much time.
They're getting, and some of it is they're getting screen time. They're on TV. They're gonna milk it.
Yeah, they want the ratings.
And
but at the same time, you're losing it. You're losing it.
And I think it's more. Sometimes the pitchers can be ridiculous. Just
Josh Beckett is terrible.
Izzy and some that just don't work fast, and It's just so annoying. I don't know how to do it, but just get it done. I don't know how.
There's got to be like a fucking have like a shot clock or pitch clock.
There's been talk about that. Yeah,
do it. Get it done. It needs to happen because the games are just. If you watch a game of MLB and then you watch a game of NFL, like there's no comparison. Which is more exciting? What's better to watch?
Mm-hmm. I like watching games when I'm there too a lot better. And
yeah, well, that's a lot more atmosphere related to.
Right, and when you're sitting at home watching on TV, you're gonna fall asleep probably, especially with commercials.
Plus, you have internet around you. You're like, oh, let's just look up something while I miss this guy hit home run.
Yeah,
you know, yeah. I mean, I would. There's got to be a way that they can speed it up, but I think that's one of the main discussions going on right now, more so than the playoffs, is how to speed up the game. And I think if anything is going to happen, that's going to happen. Because MLB is starting to break. Because I feel like the MLB is very. Well,
there's a lot of talk about like instant replay that too. Yeah. So I mean, would you be in favor of instant replay?
Definitely.
I'm in favor for almost everything except for like tags on stolen bases or any sort of tag.
Yeah, you don't want to slow down.
I don't know.
We're talking about slowing down the game, but
yeah, but at a certain point, there's so many. It's going to happen eventually. There's going to be a call in like a World Series that goes wrong, and they're just going to change.
Well, we saw that with Galarraga a couple years ago, or was it last year or 2 years ago?
Yeah, it was 2 years, I think.
He had the perfect game, and he terrible blown call. But well, that's another point I was going to make was the MLB. I think is a very prude league, I guess you want to say. It's very prude in the fact that it doesn't want to change its old-time ways. You know what I'm saying? Because they're the oldest league ever, I'm pretty sure. Or not ever, but they're one of the oldest. And they don't want to change their ways. You got all the old fogies who don't want to change it. And we saw them kind of break out of that shell with the instant replay rule with the home runs. Yeah. And I think that's definitely a step forward.
Well, like, if you look at baseball, like, how many things do they actually do right when you think about it? They're the only league that goes on and, like, takes away stuff off YouTube. You can never find a clip of baseball on YouTube.
Yeah, never.
I know Bill Simmons always talks about this, and it's like NBA, you can find almost anything on YouTube.
Yeah, NFL is tough to find stuff.
And MLB is dying because of it. Like, I mean, you're a bunch of old geezers. Like, get with the times.
Let it go.
And there's so many ridiculous stuff, like with the Hall of Fame, they won't vote people in on first ballot because Babe Ruth didn't vote on the first ballot, so people are going around, the baseball writers are like, oh yeah, we're not going to vote for him. And
60 years ago.
Seriously. And Pete Rose isn't in the Hall of Fame. Mark McGwire isn't going to be in the Hall of Fame. Barry Bonds isn't going to be in the Hall of Fame. I know they're why they're not going to be in the Hall of Fame. I'm not saying they should be. Yeah. I mean, they should be in the Hall of Fame. Whatever. Just put in there that they were on steroids.
Asterisk.
Put them in.
I had no problem doing the asterisk.
Put them in and don't give them a ceremony. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Just put their plaque in and don't give them a ceremony. Because it's ridiculous. Like, you're going to bring your kid to the Hall of Fame and what, Barry Bonds isn't going to be there, Mark McGwire isn't going to be there, Sammy Sosa isn't going to be there.
These guys changed the game.
A-Rod's not going to be there.
Yep.
I mean...
A-Rod might be. He came out about it and they had the whole, we like A-Rod.
I don't think... There's no way they're going to put him in if they don't put Mark McGwire in, Barry Bonds in. I mean, Clemens isn't going to be in.
Yeah.
I mean...
Well, Roger is just... He's a mess.
He's got more of a chance than Barry Bonds to get in.
You think so?
Because he got off on his charges, but he got off on perjury charges.
Yeah.
He didn't get off on not taking steroids, or HGH or whatever he took. But I mean, I still believe he took whatever. But
this is getting no evidence to dispute that he did.
Yeah.
But now we're getting way off topic. But yeah, going back to the YouTube. Why not just make a YouTube channel, sell ad space on it, and you're making revenue? Because I always try to find little clips of when the Sox hit 4 home runs against the Yankees. That was like one of my favorite moments of ever watching a baseball.
The MLB Network isn't that bad. Like, they have videos on there, but I mean, it would be more accessible if it was on YouTube. And
just make a YouTube account like every other sport does, and you can sell ad space on it. Mm-hmm. You're making revenue. People are going to look up this stuff. I mean, there's so many things, like when Jacoby stole home. Little things like that I just want to look up, because baseball is not a sport where you can just like look up stuff like you know what I mean? Like,
right.
There's moments that happen and they're fantastic.
Right. And you want to show someone, remember when Derek Jeter flipped that throw home and got Jason Giambi out at or was it Jeremy Giambi out at home plate, and they won the series. And
Yeah,
it's
great moments happen in the sport. You want to show people, and you can't because you can't even find the fucking video for it.
They're just an old league. Bud Selig's got to go.
How old is Bud Selig? 50? 60?
I don't know. Hope he's almost dead.
Yeah, he's got to go.
And he just does everything. I just don't like. I know some people like him or tolerate him. He's just the worst. And like the All-Star game means something now, and the fans vote on it. I hate that. I just hate it. I just want the baseball writers to vote on it and just put whoever's the best stats in for that season. Whoever's got the best sabermetric stats, the best WAR, whatever they want to play, and put them in. And I don't want to hear any argument about it. I don't want to see Chipper Jones in the All-Star game because granted it's a great story and all, but he's not good anymore. I want to see the best players, and I want to see new players. I want to see. That's the whole point of the All-Star game. But I don't even watch it anymore.
Do you think the All-Star game should matter?
No, not at all. It's stupid.
It is.
It should just be the best. Who had the best record in the regular season gets the home field.
I mean, you could have 15 more wins in the second place team and not have home field advantage.
Yep.
Granted, home field advantage does not really matter as much in baseball as it does in like an NBA or something.
Oh, it definitely. I think it matters.
Do you think it does?
Oh yeah. I mean, my whole thing is the Diamondbacks Yankees series because the home team won every game in that series, and the Yankees almost pulled it off, but it's stupid.
What could affect it though? The crowd, like.
There's different things.
Obviously, I think Fenway has an argument to say because they got the monster. But at the same time, how much could you affect it?
It's different. Just usually you see home road splits and the home's better, or you build your team for your ballpark.
Yeah.
And I think it does matter. I don't know. Maybe it just worked out that way for that series, and I just have I think about it that way. But
right.
Teams usually have a better home record than a road record. That's just how it goes.
No, definitely. Obviously, home field would matter. I'm just saying not as much as sports.
I wouldn't say as much as football, obviously.
You think football matters in home
field? Oh yeah. I think that's the most. I mean,
no,
maybe not NBA.
NBA
because the refs, I think, have more.
I think the crowd has a lot to do with it.
You think the crowd has more to do with NBA than football?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, no, not a chance.
NBA is such a momentum sport, though.
Okay, but I think some NBA players like to shut the crowd up as much as they like the crowd.
Exactly, but that's why the crowd matters. You can't.
That's saying that the road team is got a little bit of advantage because they're just trying. I mean, this is just splitting hairs, but. The fact that the crowd can literally
drown out the noise
for the snap and affect that.
How often does that happen, though? You hear it happen at like the Seattle Stadium, and maybe at Kansas City, but Kansas City is awful.
I mean,
so is Seattle.
When I was at the Bills-Patriots game, the regular season game, and I'm telling you, if that was in Foxborough, they win. The Patriots win.
Yeah.
And I mean, it didn't affect them that much. Because the pass rush isn't as good for the Bills as it. I mean, it's one of the worst in the league, but it definitely affected. That was the loudest stadium I've been in, maybe besides the Dome. But that was.
Well, you've been to the Carrier Dome, right?
No, I've been to the Dome at UConn when we were. The loudest that's been was when UConn played Texas was number 1, and everyone just got up for that, and it was just really loud. Like my ears hurt after that game.
Really,
it was really loud.
I don't think I've ever experienced that. I think the craziest crowd I've ever been to, might have been that Patriots Titans game when this is the first half because everything was just going everything Patriots and the crowd was just crazy. But yeah, now we're getting way off topic. We're not talking about MLB anymore. Yeah, so I want to fix the divisions. And they are. We looked it up.
Would you say are you against totally just making it the top 4 teams make the playoffs?
Not at all. I think that
the top 4 teams in no divisions.
I could agree with that. The only reason I think they do divisions is to save travel time, and they want to build rivalries.
But if you're changing the schedule, that's not going to affect the travel time at all.
No.
So there wouldn't be a problem.
Well, I think that's why it would work, because if you...
So, I'm saying, if you change the schedule so they play all the teams at least once or twice or whatever you had it, and the divisions wouldn't... The travel time wouldn't be any different depending on the division. So, I mean... You know what I'm saying?
No, I hear you. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think... This is the way I would set it up. I would have the 2 leagues, and then so you play the out of conference or out of league teams twice, 2 series each. So that's 6 times 15. You're playing 30 games, 30 out of conference games, and then the rest just so it's 162 minus 30. But I want to shorten the season, so basically I just want to play every team at least once.
Would you try to do like an 82 game schedule, like more exactly like the NBA?
An 82 game schedule? I think that's cutting it a little short. You can't get away with it. You'd have to have at least 120 games, I feel like, in the NBA or in MLB.
Yeah, I could see that. That's about right. And I'm not totally sure like what I would be set on for a playoff, like a number of playoff teams. I like 8 teams, so 8 teams make it out of the 30. I think if you get to maybe 5, but then for number 1 team gets a bye, that would help out. Actually, I think that's actually not a bad idea.
A bye with series though, because that's almost that could be a week and a half off of baseball. That's huge. Well, I guess.
But the thing is, the reason I don't like that no divisions is you can kind of coast if you're at number 1 and you're not really worried about where you're going to land because you're in the playoffs basically already. Mm-hmm. So if you got that thing to strive for a bye, you want to strive for the bye. Sure, that's something that people would go for. So I mean, it's just an option. Maybe 12 teams out of 30 isn't
12.
Too bad.
12 would be interesting. I just hate the way we can both agree that.
I really wouldn't want it to be more than a half. I just can't stand that. Because then it just turns into an all playoff league where I don't even care about the NHL unless the Sabres are barely going to make it into the playoffs, and I want them to win those games. Otherwise, if they're in the playoffs already, I'm just going to wait to the playoffs to care.
Yeah, I see what you mean, but at the same time, I adore the NBA playoffs and the NHL playoffs.
No, and I totally agree. And I wasn't really a big NBA fan, and then I watched the playoffs, and I realized it's a lot better. But watching the regular season, I can't do it unless it's like a team I want to check out. Like if I wanted to watch, I had Charlotte because Kemba's on the team, and I just wanted to check out how Kemba's doing.
Right.
And I mean that there's some some things that are appealing of that, but like the fact that like the Spurs will rest their guys all the time, or they're not putting the best product out there, and it's not the best thing.
Well, that's going back. Like you said, you want to see the players. That goes back to my whole argument of playing at least the teams at least twice.
Right. No, I agree with that. You just have to make it so the schedule's even, and now the schedule's not even at all because interleague is totally different for each team in the divisions.
Yeah.
So the teams within the division aren't playing the same schedule. It's just not.
The MLB is just a fucking mess.
It really is.
I feel like you have looking at the divisions right now. How has it gone on this long? Where you have 14 teams in one league and 16 in the other. One division has 6. One division has 4. It's out of how did they get to this point and not fix it?
It's like they don't even watch their own sport.
They don't care. Just have some just have some symmetry. Like for symmetry's sake, have it an even.
Both West divisions only have 4 teams, and the AL East has 5 teams, and 2 of them are the Red Sox and the Yankees. So basically, 3 teams.
There's only one division with 4 teams.
I think the NL West has 4 teams too.
No, they have 5.
No, I think they have 4 because the NL Central has 6 teams.
Yeah. Because that last team would go to the AL West.
So who's in the NL West?
NL West?
Yeah.
They're the Rockies, the Diamondbacks, the Astros, the Giants, and the Dodgers.
The Astros are in the Central.
Are you sure?
That's why they're moving.
I'll look it up right now. I'm pretty sure there's only one team with 4, or one division with 4, because what team would I be off on?
You just said you said the Astros. I think you might be right with about 5.
I meant the Rockies.
You said the Rockies.
Did I?
You said 5 or 6.
It's L.A., San Francisco, Arizona, San Diego is one I missed. San Diego, and Colorado.
Yep, you did miss one. Okay, yeah, so they do have 5, but
the NL Central.
The West has 4, but the Central has 6.
Yeah,
and that's
it just boggles my mind how it got to this point.
But and then the thing that pisses me off is there's so many good teams in the East, where you have. Well, right now Baltimore's in second place, which is baffling to me. but
It's not going to last. It cannot last.
I mean, it is. I don't know.
They've lasted this long. I see your point.
I'm looking right now. The run differential is negative 26. That's not good, but
No, I think they've been singing lately. But
I'm just saying, Yankees and Red Sox, two of the best teams in MLB,
teams. Yeah.
who have been spending the most money and being the most competitive and practically always in the playoffs. So that leaves no one in the division able to make it out. I mean, Tampa Bay has because they've been good lately, but Toronto and Baltimore are just screwed over.
I almost feel like Toronto and Baltimore would flourish in another division.
They definitely would. They're everyone in the
You don't have to play.
now, everyone in the East right now is over 500.
Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
and that's hard to say because you're playing everyone in the East. You're playing 18 games each. I think that's another ridiculous thing. Is they play we're seeing the Orioles 18 times a season.
Yeah,
But I guess they are fixing the divisions. They're moving the
Astros over to the West, the AL West.
Again, yeah.
So that will make every team have 5.
It'll be even. But I'm ecstatic about this. But at the same time, I'm wondering how many years did this go on for?
Not even sure.
Was it the Nationals that broke this whole thing up when they moved from Montreal? Was that the whole reason?
I don't think so because they were still in the NL East. So yeah, I think that was fine.
Why did it go on for so long?
I don't know. I can't remember what the.
I can't even think of an argument to back that up. Why would they? I don't know. We're getting off. I think we've exhausted all our thoughts about this. We could go on for hours, I think, but at the same time, I think we got our main points out there. We want to hear from you, the viewer, you, the listener. Comment, send us some emails, tweet at us. You can tweet at us at TheCCConnection, or you can email us at TheCConnection@gmail.com. Or subscribe to our YouTube account, or this YouTube account if you're listening to it, and stay tuned because we're going to be doing some more episodes lately. This is the CNC Connection signing off.